Hey, so my name is Katie Hicklin, and today I'm doing my midterm presentation for English 1355, which is film and literature. So for this presentation, I'm going to be talking about The Wedding Banquet, which is a film by Ang Lee, and this portrays a homosexual relationship, which is the main protagonist and his partner. So there are a few messages that Ang Lee tried to portray throughout this film. She wanted to normalize homosexual relationships. She wanted to show the difference in family dynamics between Chinese culture and mainstream American culture. And the last thing is she wanted to give more of a moral lesson on why you should avoid lying and why it just makes everything more difficult in the long run. So the way that she normalized homosexual relationships is by having the protagonist be a gay man living back in the 90s when that was a more taboo thing to do. And even at that, being a very successful gay man, he's an entrepreneur and has a very successful business. And the way that she highlighted the difference in family dynamics is by showing the dilemma that Wai Tung, the main protagonist, has, because he feels pressured to be the perfect son, which is shown by him hiding his relationship from his parents, and they still send over the girls that he wants to marry, trying to arrange a marriage for him. And this is also shown by him feeling a lot of pressure to perform well in his job, which is why that he's almost sacrificing his relationship with Simon, which is shown kind of more at the beginning of the movie whenever he cancels his trip to Belize with Simon because he wants to pursue his business and his work. And there's a few different strategies that Ang Lee adopts to try to portray this message. The first one I'm going to talk about is lighting. I think she uses like a lot of darker scenes to really represent loneliness and to make it feel more dramatic. The part that I picked out for this was in the newlywed suite, when they went and caused chaos in there. The scene cuts back to his parents in the car, and it's very dark and they aren't talking, and it shows that they kind of understand that something isn't exactly right with the situation. The second thing just happened right before that. It's kind of like the fun, upbeat music over the cars whenever they're driving to the wedding banquet. This kind of adds to the comedic effect of everything that's happening, and because it really is a funny situation how fast everything progressed, even if it is emotionally challenging, which is shown by the pathos, because it shows the emotional demanding role it takes on everyone to not be who you are. And this is shown by Simon and Wei Tung and Wei Wei all fighting in front of his parents at dinner. So my personal definition of family is just people who are there for one another and have that strong kind of emotional bond, and it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that is related by blood. So I think that the baby that they have together, they could raise together. At the beginning of the movie, I didn't feel this way because I felt like Simon is jealous, which is why he turned around and cheated on Wei Tung whenever he had admitted that he cheated on Simon also. He kind of wanted to get his revenge. And I think Wei Tung would be resentful for being in this situation because he kind of blamed everything that happened on Simon, because he's like, this is your idea. If you never said this, we wouldn't have been in this situation. And I think Wei Wei would feel abandoned and neglected, just shown by her crying in bed, like screaming at the fight over dinner, like, am I just shit to you? And she doesn't feel fully appreciated in her role in the family. But kind of at the end of the movie, they all work together that clean up the plate that Wei Tung's father had dropped. I think this was really the first moment where I was like, oh, this maybe could work, because they all came together in the end. And then one of the very last scenes in the movie, they have Wei Tung's parents are leaving on the airport, and Wei Tung puts his arm around Simon initially, and a few seconds later puts his arm around Wei Wei, and I think this kind of symbolizes them coming together as a big family at the end. So I think they would be successful in